What's up, my Vina loves? It's Miss Vina D coming to you all from Vina Entertainment News. I know I've been gone for a few days, but I'm back. Thank you all for your love, support, and patience. Messy, miserable Marlo was on Instagram Live a few days ago. She was on Instagram Live for over 30 minutes, but most of you wanted me to react to this part right here. So let's hear what messy, miserable Marlo had to say, and then I will come back with my reaction and commentary.
So we're all in the winery in the back. There was another episode. There was another elephant in the room. The producer said, hey, there's an elephant in the room. None of y'all gonna bring it up? Y'all, every single person was scared to bring it up. And Drew, I give her props. She was the only one that had courage to bring it up. But when she brought it up, Drew said, y'all can really tell if you look at it. The incident that happened, girl, this was on the news. There was a shooting at Kandi's restaurant. Blaze was on the news. But poor Drew was so scared. And she was the only one with enough courage to say, and I mean, when I tell y'all, Kenya, everybody looked at that girl like, if you don't be quiet, this is Queen Kandi. We don't talk about anything negative that happens to her. So that triggered me, y'all. It really did. It took me back to where my nephew, who used to work with Kandi, who used to work for Kandi at Old Lady Gang, he got shot and killed. I called Kandi, reached out to Kandi, told her about it. And to me, I didn't get the acknowledgement I wanted from her.
Of course, Marlo had more to say, but I had to jump in. She should have left it right there, especially on the show. Kandi did not give you the acknowledgement that you were looking for. But did she acknowledge you? Yes. Did she respond? Yes. Did she have a reaction to your nephew losing his life? Absolutely. Now, maybe it wasn't up to your standards. You felt like she was a little dry, okay? Someone just passed away. They used to work for you. I'm going to need a little bit more of emotions than that. But Kandi have expressed over and over again when it comes to, things like that, her emotions. I'm not making excuses for Kandi. What I am saying is, you don't go around saying that she did not acknowledge you after just admitting that you did not get the acknowledgement that you were looking for.
She didn't acknowledge it.
And that's the problem right there. You just said that she did not give you the reaction that you were looking for, okay? Then it went to she didn't. She did. I'm sorry to hear that. That's acknowledgement. Now, it might not have been up to your standards, but she did. Stop lying to make things fit your narrative. Now, let's continue to listen.
Then, as you see, I went into her home a day or two later, and she had as if I never even texted her about it. So to me, it's all about the acknowledgement. It's about, if it was Marlo, let me tell you this, if it had been Marlo, I get it. I get incident sounds better than shooting. But don't you think defending myself sounds better than me stabbing somebody or cutting somebody? I'm confused. But this is my friend now. This is my friend who tried to get me a TV show. This is my friend who referred me to an agent. This is my friend. So if I call you and tell you my blood nephew, my sister's firstborn, was shot and murdered, that used to work for you. He didn't work for you 10 years ago. He just worked for you. His death has been 2 years now, but he was still working for you less than 5 or 6 months ago. And you're not going to say, girl, I'm going to send flowers. I'm sorry to hear that, sis. Let me send a platter from Old Lady Gang. Let me reach out to your sister. Come on. Come on. How do you not acknowledge that? So do y'all get where I'm coming from?
For the people who are confused that Marlo said his death happened about 2 years ago, but he was still just working for Kandi 5 or 6 months ago, you already know Marlo doesn't know how to articulate herself. And that's exactly what's going on here. What she meant to say is that he worked for Kandi and, her restaurants and Todd, restaurant as well. Let us not forget Todd, 5 or 6 months before his death. That's what she meant to say.
It's almost hurtful to me to watch her be so dumb.
People are also confused. Where is the connection? But let's go back and talk about Marlo being upset about Kandi not wanting to talk about the elephant in the room. when this was the same Marlo who screamed and was upset that Kenya Moore questioned her for not giving her heads up when people attempted to break in her house. Kenya just simply said, if people are breaking into housewives, homes, and someone so close to home like Marlo, who works on the show, was a target, that's something that, I was supposed to know. And Kenya is so selfish, something bad could have happened to my nephews and I, and all she cares about. But then here you are, Kandi is saying the same thing that you said to Kenya and everybody else. Due to pending investigations, you couldn't say anything because they did not want their cover to be blown. They wanted to crack down on these people breaking into people's homes. And so you were instructed to be quiet. So why are you so shocked that Kandi cannot talk about a shooting that happened at she and her husband Todd's restaurant to her nephew? And it was an employee. She's also going through the emotions of the fact that this happened to her nephew. And things could have ended really bad, okay? Ended badly. So it's like she is so delusional. I'm not shocked because this is the same woman who grew up in foster care but had the nerve to sit there on national television and talk about another black woman not having her mother in her life when she didn't either. But Kenya chose to take the high road that day by not throwing that back in her face. So if Marlo, of all people, could be that delusional and make those remarks towards Kenya Moore about having mommy issues when she herself is still to this day having mommy issues, then why is anybody shocked that Marlo is over here being a hypocrite again, wanting Kandi to talk about a pending investigation topic that she's being told to not speak about? But when it happened to Marlo, where she was instructed to not do the same thing, it was a problem and Kenya Moore was evil. So yeah, Marlo is just being her messy and delusional self. And also for the people who are confused, where is the connection? Why are you behaving like your nephew was murdered and may his soul rest in peace? My condolences to the family. I'm so sorry that happened and I'm praying for the family. People are confused. Where is the connection? Yes, your nephew worked at one of Kandi's and Todd's restaurants. However, he did not get murdered at their restaurant. He was murdered, like you said, by his roommate. So where is the connection? Marlo and whoever there at Bravo that's desperately trying to make her happen are just doing everything in their power to make that happen, okay? Because they are aware that people are sick and tired of the same narrative. Bring the new girl on or the new peach holder who's been there for a while. Attack Kenya Moore. Get a storyline. You know what? Let's start going after Kandi, okay? Because the attacking Kenya Moore is to the point where people just know it's going to happen and it backfired and Marlo got dragged. That's not saying that Marlo is not still coming for Kenya and doing everything in her power to have a moment with the moment. But now it's Kandi's turn. But there's no connection. There's no acknowledgement, all of that. It made no sense to bring up her nephew in Kandi restaurant. He didn't get murdered there. He didn't get shot there. So I also understand the confusion. But like I said, Marlo and the person who agree with the girls that Marlo deserve a peach are desperately trying to make Marlo happen. You are so upset that Kandi won't go into details about a pending investigation, but you won't even speak on something that happened years ago. There's no investigation. Now, I do understand, okay? The young lady is no longer here with us. I'm praying for her family. And so I understand if this whole family been through so much already, and I don't think it's fair to continue to talk about this case, especially now that she's not here to defend herself. I get that part. Also, yes, it's Kandi's season to have the Kenya Moore treatment when it comes to people coming for her. And speaking of production desperately wanting to make Marlo happen, and they are going all the way back playing footage that we didn't get to see. We are still waiting to see the Portia Williams footage that led Kenya Moore to question her activism. Bravo and the other producers and them were willing to get a black woman canceled in the midst of Black Lives Matter, people marching, all of that. They were willing to get Kenya Moore canceled by leaving a clip in there of her questioning Portia Williams' activism, but was okay with agreeing with Portia and saying, okay, please do not show what happened at Todd's birthday party because it's going to show us in a negative light. Oh, but you can go back years and show us clips that ended up on the cutting floor. For Marlo's story to somewhat make sense and to prove that Marlo isn't lying and it was filmed, but production just chose not to show it. But we still can't see what Portia did to lead Kenya Moore to question her activism. Oh, okay, because it's Kenya. Yeah, so they're desperately trying to take Kandi down and make Marlo happen, and it's not working.
So any questions you have, ask. Because I want y'all to really be clear on why I was yelling. That shit triggered me. It triggered me to right here we go again. We sit here. If it's anything negative with Kandi, it cannot be discussed. It won't be discussed. But let it be something negative with Marlo, it's going to be discussed. It's no way in hell if this would have happened at La Archive. If Kandi's nephew worked at La Archive and there was a shooting at La Archive, but they said, oh, the incident that happened at La Archive, y'all know that they would have been negative with me. So it is what it is. So I can't make y'all change out the way you feel. I don't know how you feel. I just want y'all to know. And that's why I yelled at you.
Child, Marlo is so desperately trying to make her story make sense that she's all over the place. Drew not wanting to say the word shooting and the whole situation trigger you about a nephew that got murdered by something that had absolutely nothing to do with Kandi and her husband's restaurant. But then Kandi did not acknowledge your nephew being murdered, but she did in a text message. You are all over the place when it's simple. Kandi is not intentionally not wanting to talk about it because it's a negative. She can't talk about it and couldn't talk about it at that time during filming because it's an active event pending investigation. What is so hard to understand when you yourself couldn't talk about people attempting to break in your home because you were instructed not to? What is not clicking? Regardless if Marlo was mixing up her acknowledgement, Kandi not acknowledging her nephew death, which she did, or Kandi not wanting to acknowledge what happened at her restaurant with her husband, regardless of whatever acknowledgments she was talking about, she was just desperately trying to make something happen for her storyline because it was simple. Like I just said, why Kandi couldn't talk about it. And we've seen Kandi negative moments on a show. So the narrative about if it's negative, we can't talk about it as it relates to Kandi, that's a lie as well. But anyways, I'm not going to waste any more time talking about miserable Marlo. As you can hear in my voice, allergy season. Yes, I'm going through it. I was recording and now my voice just changed. But anyways, social media dragged Marlo, but that's going to be a separate video. It's been a few days since I've posted, so let me post this, and I'll be back with that, and also my review of the latest episode. I'm wishing all of you well. Have a safe and wonderful weekend, and take care.
My loves, thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.